It was one of the biggest and most significant data breaches in history, and that might have something to do with the fact that approximately 147 million people had their personal and financial information exposed, making it a major turning point in cybersecurity awareness. The story begins in March 2017, when the US Department of Homeland Security alerted a multinational credit reporting agency, Equifax, to a vulnerability in the Apache Struts web application framework, a software widely used by the company. Equifax's security team was responsible for patching the vulnerability, but the necessary updates were not made, leading to a downward spiral. It was this vulnerability in the company's application framework that left them susceptible to an attack from hackers that was taken full advantage of from mid-May to July 2017. Despite constantly gaining unauthorized access to Equifax's systems during all those months, the attackers went undetected, quietly siphoning off vast amounts of sensitive data. The stolen data included names, social security numbers, birth dates, addresses, and in some cases, driver's license numbers. This information was highly valuable to cybercriminals and could be used for identity theft, financial fraud, and other malicious activities. A valid question one might ask is, what was Equifax's cybersecurity team doing during this entire time? And to that I say, your guess is as good as mine. It wasn't until late July that Equifax discovered suspicious activity, but by then, it was way too late to prevent the breach, and significant damage had already been done. Equifax did not publicly disclose the breach until early September, which led to widespread criticism and anger from the public. The delayed response caused further damage to the company's reputation and eroded trust in its ability to safeguard personal information. In regards to the investigation into the culprits responsible for the hack, the US Department of Justice announced charges during a press conference against 4 members of a Chinese military hacking group known as the People's Liberation Army in February 2020. These individuals were accused of being responsible for the Equifax breach, as well as numerous other cyber intrusions targeting various industries, such as Marriott Hotels and the health insurance company Anthem. It's important to note that the involvement of the People's Liberation Army hacking group was based on allegations by the US government, and the individuals accused have not been brought to trial or found guilty in a court of law. Since the hackers were located in China, it is unlikely that they will face trial or extradition to the United States. It is safe to say, however, that these gentlemen will likely not be visiting America anytime soon. The Equifax breach and subsequent investigations highlighted the challenges of attributing cyber attacks to specific individuals or groups, particularly when they are located in countries with limited cooperation on extradition and prosecution. In the aftermath of the breach, Equifax faced intense scrutiny from lawmakers, regulators, and the public. The company's handling of the incident was heavily criticized, particularly its slow response, inadequate security measures, and insufficient communication with affected individuals. Equifax faced numerous class action lawsuits, regulatory investigations, and financial penalties. The company also had to invest heavily in rebuilding public trust and improving its security infrastructure, rightfully so. The Equifax breach highlighted the importance of cybersecurity and the need for organizations to prioritize the protection of sensitive data. It served as a wake-up call for individuals, businesses, and governments to reevaluate their security practices and implement stronger measures to defend themselves against evolving cyber threats. The incident also led to increased calls for stronger data protection regulations and greater accountability for organizations that handle consumer information. It underscored the long-lasting impact that data breaches can have on individual lives, and thereby justifies an urgent establishment of robust cybersecurity practices to prevent future breaches.